Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Muscle Building Mastery Podcast. My name's Andy Clements, and in today's episode I'm going to talk to you a little bit while I drink my pre-workout coffee here about, actually what I want to talk to you about, it's a bit connected to this, it's about the pre-workout ritual that I go through and how to set yourself up in the hour to 2 hours before your workout so you have the best workout possible, because contrary to popular belief, there is a right and a wrong way to do this. And it might be different for different people, but there's definitely things that I would avoid, and there's definitely things that I would include to make sure that your workouts are as productive and as strong as possible. Like when you go in the gym, I know we're in lockdown right now, but if you're listening to this when the gyms are open again, or you're watching this when the gyms are open again, then when you go in the gym, your actions leading up to that workout can have a massive bearing on whether you hit your numbers for that day. So whether you hit that 100 kilo bench press that you've been working towards, or you know you're hitting that 3-plate deadlift, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you make sure that you lead up to the workout in the right way, and you prime your brain, your nervous system, and your musculature, your muscles, to be able to smash that workout so you can hit your strength goals, and also make sure that you smash through your physique goals. Does that sound good? Okay. Little slip of coffee. So, let me tell you first about what I used to do. Like, the first thing I used to do, I didn't really think this was important, right? I used to buy into the conventional wisdom that you need energy for when you train. So energy is from carbs, right? Because that's the conventional wisdom. We get our energy from carbs, right? And we do get a source of energy from carbs. So you convert carbs into glycogen and all the boring stuff, the science stuff. But that's what I used to think. I used to think really simplistically, you get your energy from carbs, so I'm going to eat carbs before I train, right? And that was it. That was the whole thought process I had. And I didn't really even care about what carbs I ate. You know, I sometimes I ate, sometimes I didn't. I didn't put that much thought into it, if I'm being totally honest. So eating carbs, whether it was oats or rice or whatever it was, that would be, you know, anywhere from 3 to 1 hour to sometimes half an hour before I trained. And my workouts used to suck, right? And it was no wonder I used to get shitty results, and my workouts were awful, and my physique reflected that because I didn't have any muscle. My strength was awful. I used to feel lethargic in the gym. I used to be like, you know, I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. I was like, I'm not sleeping enough. Am I too stressed? What's going on? Like, am I just not motivated? Do I not want to do this anymore? And it went on for years. Like, I used to, it's like some days I'd feel a bit better, but some days I'd feel like awful, and I could never get myself up. I just thought, maybe I'm just one of them people that's tired. Maybe I've got low testosterone. I don't know what's going on. Like, why can't I get myself up for these workouts like the people that you see on these YouTube videos and on these motivational documentaries and stuff like that, and all the bodybuilders all seem like really bang up for it, and that was never me. Like, why can't I get myself up for this? And the food I was eating never really occurred to me. I remember discovering pre-workouts and thinking, well, maybe I just need a pre-workout. Maybe I need a heavy dose of caffeine. I mean, no, I'm having a coffee now, but you know, I used to like I remember having like 2-3 scoops of pre-workouts. You know what pre-workouts are? They're just like formulated supplements that they're supposed to give you a bit of a stimulus or a bit of a kick or increase your pump or something like that, right? But I remember getting the high stim, like the high stimulating one, like the high caffeine versions and stuff like that, and like mega dosing them because I thought I need that for the motivation. And it's just BS, right? And then one day I came across an article by a guy called Ben Pakulski, and I've talked about him on the podcast before. And he was talking about how carbs, when they are ingested in the gut, they release a hormone called serotonin. And if you don't know what serotonin is, it's quite synonymous with the sort of happiness hormone. It is. You need serotonin for you know, feelings of well-being and stuff like that. But in a context of a workout, too much serotonin can actually be quite harmful, because serotonin has this funny effect of relaxing the brain and relaxing the body, right? And it's heavily released when you eat carbs, because serotonin, I think 70 to 80% of it's released in the gut, and when you eat carbs, something happens to the body where a ton of serotonin gets released, and you end up feeling relaxed or lethargic, right? And you don't want to. Just kind of think about how you feel after you eat a massive meal, really heavy with carbs. A, your digestion's all clogged up, so the energy's in your digestive system. But B, you're eating all these carbs, all this serotonin, all this relaxation hormone, this lethargy hormones getting released around your system, into the brain, into the gut, all around the body and the muscles, and you just want to just relax, right? Like if you ever had a massive cheat meal like pancakes or a massive pizza, or if you ever remember having your Christmas dinner, right? When you have your Christmas dinner, that's a really obvious one. Because what does everybody do after they have a Christmas dinner when they've had the turkey and they've had the potatoes and the Yorkshire puddings and the gravy and the pigs in blankets, and they've had all these heavy foods? What do they do? And the Christmas pudding, all the chocolates and all the rest of the stuff you have on Christmas Day, right? What do you do after you've had your Christmas dinner? Most people unbuckle their pants, sit on the sofa and fall asleep, right? Am I right? Because that's how you feel. That's all you feel like doing. You're not going to go and do a workout after your Christmas dinner, right? And I know that's an extreme example, and nobody's going to have a massive dinner like that right before they go for a workout, or at least I hope not. But hopefully you understand the point. That's the extreme end, because you are smashing the carbs in, you're releasing all this serotonin, and yes, there's a factor that you've overeaten and stuff like that as well, but you are releasing all this serotonin around the body, and your body's just kind of telling you to just like sort of lay back in your chair and just relax and just go to sleep and just sleep off these carbs, right? So if you add in carbs right before your workout, you're, to some extent, to the extent of how many carbs you have, replicating that feeling of having your Christmas dinner, right? So it's no wonder that you will feel lethargic and your workouts will suck if you smash the carbs in right before you go to the gym. Does that make sense? You guys getting that? So that's the biggest thing that I learned from Ben Pakulski when he sort of laid this out for me, and I was like, mind blown, right? I was like, Christ, right, okay. So from that day forward, and I mean, there might be an exception to this, but I can't remember it. Since that day, I don't think I've had a single workout where I've had carbs right before my workout. I completely changed the way I did things. I dove quite deep in my research on it, and I found out that carbs might take between 3 and 5 hours to get sort of out of your system, and that serotonin effect will take between 3 and 5 hours to sort of dissipate and not have a lethargy effect anymore, and then you start coming round again, right? So if I'm training late at night, I'll make sure that I don't have carbs in the 3 to 5 hours before I train. If I'm training mid-morning, so right now I'm about to go train and it's 10:15, it's 10:15, right? If I'm training at this time, I'm not gonna have carbs at all before I train. I'm gonna have a fat heavy meal. So for breakfast, I will have a fat heavy meal. So today I had steak and eggs, right? Because there's no carbs in that, or very little carbs in that, and I feel great. I'm gonna have a coffee with a little bit of caffeine, and I'm gonna go train. I'm gonna perform amazing, right? Or I'm gonna perform better than I would do on carbs. So that's only a little snippet of information, but that the philosophy that Ben Pakulski always used to say, and the philosophy that I've kind of adopted as my own as well, based on his work. It's his idea, not mine. I'm not claiming credit for it, but his philosophy I thought was amazing, and I've adopted it as my own, and that was earn your carbs. So this is another it's another kind of offshoot, kind of related to the same thing. When you go in the gym, think about what you do when you go in the gym. You're depleting your glycogen, you're depleting your energy reserves. Does that make sense? So the build up, so what happens to the carbs when you get ingested is eventually they'll get stocked up in the muscle, and when you go into the gym or you go into doing your workout, you're depleting those carb reserves out of your muscles, right? And then what you need to do after you've depleted them, what you need to be concerned with is replacing them. So when you need to have your carbs is when you've earned them. Go into the gym and earn your carbs by depleting the resources and then fill them back up. You will enhance your recovery, and you won't need to be as concerned about any kind of slight lethargy or sleepiness effects, because you've already done your workout. You've done the most important part of your day already. Right, at least from a building a physique standpoint, the most important part of your day is your training window. So, obviously manage that as you see fit. You don't need to stock up on carbs massively if you need to be focused at work after your workout. If you train early in the morning, you need to be like quite sharp at work. Just have a little bit of carbs, but not enough for you to sort of put you on your ass and be keep yourself mentally sharp. And that's it. That's all I've got for today. Is just earn your carbs. Make sure that you are looking at your workout window, as the hours leading up to it are going to have a massive effect on it. And yeah, that's all I've got. So I hope that made sense. And Any questions, as always, just pop them in the comments below, or send me an email or something like that, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to suggest any topics for me to cover in future podcasts, by the way, let me know, because I will be doing a new one of these every single day. I think this is episode number 10, so we're 10 episodes in, but I'm going to be doing a new one of these every single day. So in a year's time, we'll have hundreds of episodes of these for you guys to flick through, like I say, like 10 to 15 minutes most days max. And yeah, I hope that made sense. I'm going to cut this short now. So I'm going to go train. I'm going to finish my coffee and go train. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode of Muscle Building Mastery Podcast.